Oh, what wow. He's definitely one of the greatest dancers in this country and beyond. Hear the amazing story about a man's dance in life. Robert Bain is our special guest in Legends, the Untold Story. Welcome to Legends. Robert Bain is an outstanding dancer, and you're going to hear how awesome he really is during this half hour. So welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Great. Yeah, I'm really happy to see you. Your name is one of, and there are very few men names you hear in dance in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
What inspired you to get into dance?
Well, there are lots of things actually. One of the things is that being a clumsy child.
You were clumsy?
Yeah, I was a clumsy child. And one of the thing to help that with that clumsiness was actually to be enrolled into a ballet school. I attended this school.
So who actually enrolled you?
Well, my grandmother, right? You know, I'm breaking up stuff. This boy, I don't know.
Oh, you were really
really messing up Mama China. You know, something need to happen. And so I heard about this lady, Vera Allen, in Freeport, and I went there. I thought it was a sport, actually. You know, not being too exposed to dance. I thought it was a sport because I was very much into sports.
But dance is very athletic.
Very athletic. You know,
we'll talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, very much so. So you know, that started. I went into this place and I walked in there, and there were all these females in there, and I was like, okay. And so and then of course the teacher at the time, she said, listen, this is a male. I was the only male at the time, and she said, you treat him like a king. Because it's important to have a male presence on stage, and you know she knew that.
And this was ballet at the time?
It was classical ballet. Started classical ballet, and I remember.
So how did you must have got some ribbing from other
guys. Oh yeah. I went through the Miss Bain stage for a while because I played basketball.
They called you Miss Bain?
Oh yeah, I went through that because you know, after being in dance for a while, you know, you start to get some grace, you know, and so it kind of manifested itself on the basketball court.
Differently.
I walked differently. I played basketball. I played differently. I approached the rim in a different way. I had better skills. I had better command of my skills than most persons because it gave a heightened sense of being in terms of physically, you know. But yeah, I got my fair share of the ribbing.
Well, let's put it like this, because we talk about Junkanoo all the time.
Yeah.
And there's dance in Junkanoo.
Yeah.
But dance in its essence is spiritual, isn't it?
Dance have a spiritual component. It's very spiritual. True dancers have this innate ability to tap into their inner man, you know, in a very special way.
Expound on that.
Well, I think we all given gifts, but expanding with the inner man, if you're very spiritual in a sense, the Bible talks about studying yourself, you know, study to show yourself approved. You have to study. There are aspects of study that taps into the religious part of your life, and there are ways of expressing innate feelings, innate desires, just expressing yourself, your man self. There's that thing that allows you to express yourself as a human being.
So, can I ask you this? Do you think that your work and study through dance got you closer to God?
Yes, in most senses, yes, because it put me in touch with my purpose as a human being, as a citizen of this universe. It put me in touch with that. It put me in direct touch with that. It put me in direct in touch with God in terms of my creativity, being able to create, and I know where that creativity comes from.
You know, it's interesting too, because you are a choreographer, right?
Yes.
We're going to come back to your formative
sure.
years.
Yeah.
But choreography is very difficult, isn't it?
To some it is. But again, you have to study, and you have to study to a point where you build a vocabulary, a movement vocabulary. You, over a period of time, develop a vault of knowledge, and with that vault of knowledge, you are able then to tie into that your imagination, and from your imagination, you can create wonderful things, you can bring to life wonderful ideas. Some persons wish not to take that part. What they do is basically just think that they are choreographers and they can choreograph, but the serious choreographers they have tapped into their spirit, man, themselves, they have tapped into that. And so they're able to bring things to life, like this object here, that could be brought to life.
Do you think Bahamians really appreciate what dance is?
I don't think, I think in terms of what dance is, I think Bahamians don't understand what dance is. What they see of dance is the beautiful costumes. I think there's much more. Bahamians are natural dancers. There are things about Bahamians that are amazing that you would not believe, but to get them to understand it, they don't have I think, to be honest, they don't have a clue. They see
but it's intellectual as well, isn't
it? It is very, very intellectual. Mm-hmm. They see the pretty, they see the color, they see the red, they see that sort of thing. Instead of looking at what it truly is. Example, in my book, I wrote a book called Profiles of Bahamian Dance. It talks about the dancers. It profiles all the dancers from 1920 to 2000. And one of the descriptions I used in the book, I'm a Junkanoo. I'm one of the founders of One Family. One Family. All right. One of the families, the first choreographer. But even as a Saxon, and one of the things that I acknowledge about Junkanoo is that if you are in the midst of Junkanoo, as a drummer, as a dancer, I choreograph, and I take my drum and I go in the back line, and I would play my drums. But if you watch the musicians, the Junkanooers, you see movement in the back there. First of all, you see you feel the energy of the drums coming back to you this way, and then you watch the movement of the dancers, the Junkanooers, and each drummer have a different. They have a different expression. Yes, they have a different expression of movement. And I think the thing about it, the intellectual part of it, is taking that aspect of it, the different aspect of movement, and creating movement from it. Like I say, you could create movement from this. And so you could take each of that you see and you create something that's awesome, and we don't get that part. That's the intellectual part of it. You watch the foot movement, it tells you immediately that Bahamians, we're Africans and we are grounded. And so the movement itself is thumping the ground, it's hitting the ground, and there's a
rising to the air.
It's amazing, and then you feel the drums, and we talk about the drums, and you feel the rhythm, and the rhythm. There are so many different rhythms. Junkanoo is polyrhythmic, so it's based on a bunch of different rhythms, and it almost seems like the ancestors are talking to each other with the drums. And so
I'm going to stop you right there.
Sure.
Because what we're getting into is really deep.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break. We're talking with Robert Bain, master dancer. Is that how I should call you?
Well, I'm just...
We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. We're talking with Robert Bain, who is a true legend in the world of dance in this country.
Yeah.
We were talking about Junkanoo before the break.
Yeah.
Let me let you finish on that before I take you back.
Well, I just think that the movements and it's so much. I like to also use the analogy of the Kong Salad theory, I call it. There's so much that we could actually do for ourselves in the Bahamas in terms of dance and creating dance. I mean, Cuba did it. A lot of the other countries around the world have done it. We're no different. But
We're not different?
Well, we know we know
unique, aren't we?
difference in terms of ability. That's what ability and history. I remember Cuba, for example, sent many years ago these dancers everywhere in America. It's easy to send one sometime than to send a bunch, but they send dancers and who learned stuff and came back to Cuba. And from what they did was they developed stuff based on stuff they had learned and helped to enlarge already the existent cultural attributes that they already had. You know, it had helped to enrich it, and even though they learned a ballet move, they took that ballet move and they created something that reflects something that was Cuban. They just knew what they were doing. That's why they have such a rich
The
culture.
communism model is health, education, art.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We're nothing without art, are we?
No, we're absolutely not. Mr. Mitchell, Arthur Mitchell,
Let me introduce that to you.
yeah.
Because you actually trained with the Dance Theater of Harlem.
Yes.
By the
Yeah.
amazing Arthur Mitchell.
There you go.
What was that like?
It was an experience. It was.
You worked with him?
Yes, I worked with him, performed in his pieces. I performed as an apprentice with the dance theater. And then later on in life, my students became members of his company in the name of Patrick Johnson. And there were some other Bahamians that are actually there. As a matter of fact, this year I had a student with me to New York. I went there, took him to my trek. I said, this is what I did as a young man living in New York. And I took her with me, and so she can experience it. And we walked down, came out of the subway, walked down to 152nd Street, went up the streets, showed her the building, gave her the history of the area, and swooped her into the building of Dance Theater. And then I introduced her to some of my some persons there that remembered me. Of course, lots have changed. The building have changed, the area have changed.
How did you get to DTH?
When I was in about 1969, 70, just about the time Dance Theater had just gotten started, there was a program on TV, on PBS, and Mr. Mitchell was there. And at the end of the program, I saw the information. All I saw was 466 West 152nd Street. I remember I didn't get the zip code, and I wrote Mr. Mitchell this letter. And it was a really silly letter, actually, because I wanted to know where I can find some dance stuff. And it took forever and ever, and it never, I forgot about it, so, you know. And then one day, my grandmother came inside, and she says, boy, there's a letter from you, for you. And I remember this white envelope, and it had DTH on it, and 466 West 152nd Street. And
You were living in Grand Bahama at the
in
time.
Grand Bahama, right. And she said Jew. She called me Jew because I was named after my father. So, and she said, I have this mail for you. And so I opened it, and it was a letter from Mr. Mitchell, and it said, we do not sell the stuff that you're asking, but if I do find out where you can find this stuff, I would let you know. And he said, and when you at some point, if you know you're interested, once you finish with school or whatever, you can come to New York. And so, and my first trip there was in 1975, and it was an experience, and I couldn't wait to get back.
And that year you were how old?
Well, I was, at that point in time, I was 15, 16.
Wow.
Yeah, around that age.
That must have been really, that must have been very awesome in a way.
It was.
It must have.
But
But first of all,
it changed my life.
it had to. But at the same time, you had to know that this is what you were going to do.
I always tell persons in dance,
A 15-year-old going to do that at that time in this country.
yeah, it was about, by that age, about 15, yeah, around that age, 15, 16, could have been 16. At that, to me, I think I always tell my people that ask me about dance, I say, you know, I mean, I've had other jobs. I've worked at Patelco as a technician. I've done other things.
You got to if you're involved.
Yeah, I've done other things. But I always tell people that the dance chose me. In terms of purpose, I'm always intrigued by purpose, and then I was also fascinated with a poem by Robert Frost, "The Road Not Taken."
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember having a conversation with former Governor General Ivy Dumont. She came to a careers night at the high school I attended in Grand Mama Catholic High School, and at the end of it, we went outside, and as she was finished, we were really intrigued with her presentation, and we walked out of the music room at the time, and we were talking about it, and I said, I'm interested in dance, and stuff like that, and she said to me, if that's what you want to do, do it. If you're passionate about it, do it. And she just gave me all these things to encourage me instead of discouraging me. I mean, I've gotten the discouragement thing. Boy, why you want to do that? That ain't no real job.
You ain't get no money.
You ain't get no money in that, And so
parents often find ways to tell you why you shouldn't do what you want to do.
Absolutely. And I've known many people who've done what the parents want them to do, and then they turn around and do what they want to do anyway. So
because they're not happy.
Yes, So it was purpose. I could have been a technician. I could have stayed at Batoka. I could have done whatever. I could have, but it chose me.
How difficult is it to be a professional dancer in the Bahamas? Obviously, it's difficult in the Bahamas, period. In other words, you need to have several different, in the world, you need to have several different streams of income.
Yeah.
For the dancer, how much more difficult is that?
It is very difficult because there's no place. There's really nothing has been put into place for dancers. But the art, period, is just used.
But your studio is a place.
Pardon me?
Your studio is a place.
Well, yeah. People are the dancers, the artists in the country, especially dancers. They are used. They are not. They really. There's no development. I was giving a student a conversation. We were talking yesterday about development. There's nothing to develop. We're not developing stuff. We always want to do something else that somebody's doing, but we don't want to develop. Dancers. It's very hard to be a dancer, and dance required training. My days, I remember leaving home. I lived in East Village, catching the train, going uptown to 152nd Street, and I did that I had to get up very early in the morning to do that so I can get there on time. And you had to. It was like the day ended like about 8:30 at night. So you go from about 9 in the morning until about 8, sometime longer than that at night. The training process. Dancers that train every day are the ones that do best. And then the thing about it is that education, we don't have enough dance teachers in the country who are educated enough or capable enough of teaching dancers to reach that particular level.
And that means classicism.
Yes.
Classical training.
Yeah.
We're going to stop for a little bit. We have to take a little break. This show moves too fast. I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more. Dance is so much more than you think it is. It's spiritual, it's intellectual, it's athletic. And we're talking with Robert Bain. And talk about the hard work that goes into it.
Oh man, the training, you are manipulating the body to do stuff that's sometimes unnatural.
Unnatural?
Oh yeah, unnatural, because we weren't designed to walk like this. We weren't designed to walk like that. I mean, there are persons that walk like that naturally, but we're talking about creating a turnout. And see, the muscles also is very intelligent, very, very intelligent muscles. If you were just to take the skin off your flesh like this, and you could see those muscles doing this, and they're waiting for information. You could train that muscle to do whatever you wanted to do. So dancers spend a lot of time training those muscles to do what it wants to do. A person don't just lift their legs. That's it's repetition all the time. That's how you become a dancer. You understanding the pedagogical nature of dance and teaching it and learning it properly. Because there's remember, dance was created in France, the Royal Academy of Dance in France, and you're talking about Boucham and all those people and the rest of them, how they created this system of developing dance.
Well, let's get back to these days, the past 20 years or so, when everybody, including me, figured we could dance because we saw Janet Jackson. We wanted to try to do all these things. What do you think? Has that brought more people into the world of dance? Those kinds of.
Boy, I don't know. That I think here. Well, let me speak.
And what do you think about that kind of dance?
I think it has helped a lot. I think today youth are experiencing something else in terms of dance, and it's acceptable. You know, it's acceptable. It's fine. I mean,
sounds like it's not that acceptable.
Well, they are being the dancers. The dancers are creative. They are creating stuff. I mean, if you go to New York and look at the streets, see all the hip hop dancers everywhere. These guys. I mean, I watched that stuff developed in New York City in the '70s from the cardboard boxes. These guys was to dance, and they didn't do some of the stuff they did then. Now it's different. But there's and now the dance that are created today is being studied. And it's something intellectual about it. Really, they're taking the society that they're living in and they're creating this wonderful art form, which is a beautiful thing. There's an appreciation for that. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. And then we find at some point dancers don't have to. Persons who are interested in dance do not have to go through some of the same stuff that we went through. I mean, unless they're doing classical ballet or contemporary modern or something like that, or jazz. These people do this thing naturally. This thing is coming out of their environment, and it's happening. It's a natural metamorphosis thing that is happening, and it's beautiful. And this day too, dancers are exploring the parameters of the body movement, how well the body can move, to which degree the body can move. It's amazing how they do it. And now some of the choreographers, the choreographers like myself, the traditional choreographers like myself, we're finding that is interesting. We find it interesting, and so we are also incorporating that into some of our work. There's a young man.
You still do choreography?
I still do choreography. We just finished a concert.
So really, you could dance until you die, no matter how old.
Well, I can move a little bit. I can move a little bit, but at the same level, no, that's not.
No, we understand that.
Yeah. But like anything, like sports, your body tends to start to talk to you. You know, you get up in the morning and wonder why are you still doing this?
How many people have you trained over the years?
Well,
Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. I have some friends of mine who remind me that I probably taught tons. That's all they say.
Thousands.
Yeah, because they can't really, you know. But you know what it is
Did
that
they come back to you and say, "Mr. Bain, boy, you
they
changed my life"?
Some of them do. Some of them do. Very few of them, but some of them do. Some of them have become permanent fixtures in my life. Actually, become permanent fixtures in their lives, in their family lives. They're married. They have children. Some of them we still talk today, and some of them are become my best friends.
Why should everyone explore dance? Even we don't expect everyone to become great dancers, but do you think that everyone should try and experience what it is?
Yes, I think so. I think for whatever level it is that you want to experience it at, you can. And trust me, there's a feeling that comes with it. There's a feeling that comes with it, a feeling of accomplishment. There's a feeling of wellness. It affects the total man, mind, body, spirit thing. It has all of those elements that's attached to it, and so it benefits everybody. It gives you an adrenaline rush. You can get that from it as well. You can get a calming rush.
You have children?
I have 5 kids.
Do they dance?
My daughter, my oldest daughter, she dances.
You have 5 children?
5 children. My oldest daughter dances in junk canoe. She loves junk canoe.
Is choreographed for junk canoe, because junk canoe is traveling. Is that much more difficult than...
It's a moving stage, I call it.
Yeah.
I call it a moving stage.
Is it more difficult than doing a sort of classical piece?
Junk canoe has its challenge. It is very... I don't think the people that they're choreographing know how special they are or how gifted they are to be able to actually do that. To be able to be creating choreography with constant movement forward. I mean, it goes backwards, sideways. You know, it uses the concept of stage up, stage down, stage right, stage left. It uses that that theory, but they are very special. The fact that they're able to actually do that and constantly, you know, and I don't think they realize how special they are.
Stay with us. We're talking with Robert Bain. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do, but I can't dance. We're in our final segment. Robert Bain, I'm going to leave this minute with you. What do you want to tell Bahamian people that they should know and why they should experience dance?
What they want to know. I think every Bahamian should be dancing. I think there's so much more to us as Bahamians in terms of dance. I think there's so much that the world wants to see of us in dance. Culturally, we're a very rich country. We have so much here to offer. We just need the right ears. We need the kind of help, not the superficial kind. We need the real kind of help that dance could help to develop this country, develop the youth, the young people in this country. We're always wanting young things for youth. Dance is a perfect vehicle for that. It teaches so many different, there's so many different aspects of discipline that's associated with it. And I want every Bahamian to just once, go and support a dance school, no matter what school it is. Go and support it. Support the National Dance Company. We have a concert coming up in October. Come and see us again. We just did one in July.
Let them know where you are.
We are located, and the National Dance Company is situated in the Base Road Plaza on Nassau Street. And we're a national entity. We were established in 1992 by the Bahamas government. And so we wish your support. And we thank you, whenever you come into the theater. We really appreciate you. And I just love this country, and I love the way we live and how we love life here in the Bahamas, and I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world.
Robert Bain, you're an awesome man.
Thank you, man.
And thank you for all your contributions, even though many people don't know what you do, but they're going to know now.
All right.
Thank you for joining us, and join us again next time on Legends, the Untold Story.